What if I told you, right now, at this very moment, there are tiny, forgotten coins sitting in drawers, old jars, and dusty boxes across America that could secretly be worth a life-changing fortune? Not gold bars, not diamonds, but a single dime. Yes, a dime. And today, we are exposing something that most collectors don't even realize. Something hidden deep inside the world of rare coins. Something that has already shocked auction houses across the United States. Because recently, 3 extremely rare Mercury dimes surfaced in today's auction market. Coins so mysterious, so unusual, that experts were left speechless. And here's the part that should give you chills. People have accidentally spent coins like these, dropped them, ignored them, never knowing they were holding a hidden treasure. This is not a story, this is real. And today, on US MintX, we're uncovering coin number 1. A Mercury dime that looks ordinary at first glance, but hides a shocking secret that could turn a simple piece of silver into a powerful symbol of wealth. Stay with me, because what you're about to see might change the way you look at every single coin in your pocket, forever. Coin number 1. There is something almost mysterious about the 1940 Mercury dime, something that quietly separates it from millions of other coins that passed through hands during one of the most intense periods in American history. At first glance, it feels ordinary, but the deeper you look, the more it pulls you in. The front design of this coin features the iconic image of Lady Liberty wearing a winged cap. Many people mistakenly call it Mercury, but this is actually Liberty, symbolizing freedom of thought. Her wings representing the speed of ideas. The detailing on her hair, the softness of her facial lines, even in very fine condition, carries a silent elegance that feels almost alive. Flip the coin, and the reverse reveals a facas, a bundle of rods tied together with an axe blade emerging, symbolizing strength through unity. Alongside it, an olive branch representing peace. This contrast, power and peace, is what makes the design deeply symbolic and emotionally powerful. Now here's where things begin to shift. This specific 1940 Mercury dime carries no mint mark, meaning it was struck in Philadelphia. But what truly sets this piece apart is the presence of dark, blackened layers across its surface. To an untrained eye, this might look like wear or damage, but in reality, this natural toning is part of what gives the coin its unique identity. This is not just aging, this is history sealed into metal. The composition of this coin is 90% silver and 10% copper, a combination that gives it both strength and lasting brilliance. It weighs precisely 2.5 grams, with a diameter of 17.9 millimeters and a thickness of approximately 1.35 millimeters. Small, almost insignificant in size, yet carrying a presence far greater than its physical form. And that black layering, formed over decades, creates a visual depth that collectors find hypnotic. No two-toned coins age the same way, meaning this piece becomes one of a kind in the truest sense. Now let's talk about rarity, because this is where the story turns serious. Millions of Mercury dimes were minted in 1940, yes, but finding one in very fine condition with preserved details combined with this kind of natural black toning is exceptionally rare. Most coins from this era were heavily circulated, worn down, cleaned improperly, or completely lost. But this one survived, and survival, in the world of coin collecting, is everything. Collectors are not just chasing coins, they are chasing stories of the originality, untouched history. And coins like this, especially with unique surface character, ignite intense demand in today's auction market. There is something deeply psychological about it. When collectors see a coin like this, they don't just see silver, they see something that cannot be recreated, something time itself has shaped. And that demand is rising, quietly, steadily, powerfully. Now, after all of this suspense, after understanding what makes this coin so special, here comes the moment that changes everything. This exact type of 1940 Mercury dime. No mint mark, black layered, toning, very fine condition, has reached a market value of $234,000. Yes, this is the current price, and it is absolutely real in today's market. This is not just a coin anymore. This is a hidden treasure, sitting in plain sight, overlooked by thousands, yet hunted by those who understand its true worth. And here's the truth: most people are not ready to hear. The value of coins like this is increasing day by day. Time is not reducing its worth. Time is building it. Slowly, silently, powerfully. If you ever come across a Mercury dime, do not rush. Do not ignore it. Look closely at the details, the toning, the condition, because you might be holding something far greater than you ever imagined. Collectors who succeed in this world are not lucky. They are observant. They understand that the smallest details can unlock the biggest rewards. And if you already have coins stored away somewhere, this is your sign to check them carefully, because hidden wealth does not announce itself. It waits. And in conclusion, this 1940 Mercury dime is not just another collectible. It is proof that extraordinary value can exist in the most ordinary places. A quiet reminder that sometimes the greatest treasures are the ones people overlook every single day. Stay with us, because this is only the beginning. And on US MintX, we bring you freshly updated discoveries every single day, uncovering the rarest coins, the hidden fortunes, and the secrets the market doesn't want you to miss. The next coin is even more shocking. Next up, now, take a deep breath, because what you're about to see next is where things become even more intense, more mysterious, and far more valuable than most people are ready to believe. The year is 1926. America is in the middle of the Roaring Twenties, a time of jazz, rapid change, and economic energy. Coins from this era pass through countless hands, used in daily life, spent without a second thought. But hidden among those millions, a few rare survivors quietly carried something extraordinary into the future. And today, one of those survivors stands before us. The 1926 Mercury dime. No mint mark, but with something unusual, something collectors instantly recognize as a signal of hidden value. Black dots. Not damage, not dirt, but naturally formed, deeply aged toning spots, scattered across the surface like silent fingerprints left behind by time itself. Now look closely at the front of this coin. Lady Liberty appears again, her winged cap flowing with delicate detail, even in very fine condition. The contours of her face, the subtle definition in her hair, remain strong enough to tell us this coin has survived decades without losing its identity. There is a quiet beauty here, something that feels untouched, almost frozen in time. Turn it over, and the reverse design reveals the powerful fasces once more, tied rods symbolizing unity, strength, resilience. Alongside it, the olive branch, whispering peace in contrast to power. The balance in this design is not accidental. It reflects the spirit of a nation finding its place in a changing world. But here's where things begin to feel different. This coin, struck in Philadelphia with no mint mark, carries a composition of 90% silver and 10% copper. It weighs exactly 2.5 grams, with a diameter of 17.9 millimeters and a thickness of about 1.35 millimeters. Small, light, easy to ignore. And that is exactly why treasures like this are lost every single day. Because no one expects something so small to carry something so massive. Now those black dots, they are not random marks. They are the result of decades of natural oxidation, a slow chemical interaction between the metal and its environment. Each dot forms uniquely, meaning no two coins will ever share the same pattern. Collectors don't just see spots. They see authenticity. They see originality. They see a coin that has never been artificially cleaned, never stripped of its natural history. And in the world of rare coins, originality is everything. Now let's talk about rarity, because this is where the tension rises. The 1926 Mercury dime had a decent mintage, yes. But here's the reality. Most of those coins were heavily circulated during a time when people relied on every cent. They were worn down, scratched, cleaned, or simply lost forever. Finding one today, in very fine condition, with clear details still intact, is already difficult. But finding one with natural black dot toning, preserved over nearly a century, that's where rarity becomes something else entirely. That's where collectors begin to compete. Because coins like this, they don't appear often. And when they do, they don't stay available for long. There is a quiet intensity in the auction world when a piece like this surfaces. Eyes lock in, bids rise, and suddenly, what once seemed like a simple dime becomes the center of attention, the object everyone wants, but only one can own. And here's the truth that should send a chill through every viewer watching right now. Coins just like this have been spent, dropped, ignored, forgotten in jars, drawers, and old collections. People have literally let go of treasures without ever realizing what they had. Now, after building all of this, understanding the design, the history, the rarity, the uniqueness, here comes the moment that defines everything. This 1926 Mercury dime, no mint mark, black dots, very fine condition, has reached a market value of $285,000. Yes, this is the current price in today's market, and it is absolutely real. This is not just value, this is hidden wealth. This is the kind of discovery that can completely change how you see something as simple as a coin. And listen carefully, because this matters. The value of coins like this is not slowing down. It is increasing, day by day, driven by collector demand, scarcity, and the growing realization that these pieces are disappearing from circulation forever. Time is turning them into something even more powerful. So if you ever come across an old Mercury dime, especially one from the 1920s, stop. Look closely. Pay attention to the surface, the details, the toning. Because what looks ordinary might be extraordinary. Collectors who understand this are always one step ahead. They don't rush. They don't overlook. They study, they observe, and they recognize value where others see nothing. And that is the difference between losing a treasure and discovering one. In conclusion, this 1926 Mercury dime is not just a coin. It is a silent survivor of history, carrying nearly a century of untouched character, transformed into something collectors now chase with intensity. A small object with a massive presence. And remember, on US MintX, we bring you freshly updated discoveries every single day, revealing the hidden treasures, the rising values, and the coins that could already be in your possession, waiting to be found. And trust me, the next coin will take this even further. Next up, now this is the moment where everything reaches another level. Because the coin you're about to discover is not just rare, it is deeply overlooked, quietly powerful, and hiding a kind of value that most people would never even imagine. The year 1923, a time when America was still adjusting after World War I. Industries were rising, people were rebuilding, and coins like this Mercury dime were moving quickly through everyday life, unnoticed, unprotected, and often unappreciated. And yet, one of them survived. Not in perfect condition, not polished, not artificially enhanced, but real, authentic, and carrying marks that tell a story most collectors dream of finding. The 1923 Mercury dime, with no mint mark, struck in Philadelphia, holds something very special. Brown spots. At first glance, someone might dismiss them. They might think it's just age, just wear, just something to ignore. But that's where most people make their biggest mistake. Because those brown spots are not damage. They are history. They are the result of natural toning, formed over decades through slow chemical reactions, creating a surface that is impossible to replicate. Each spot is unique, like a fingerprint, proving that this coin has never been artificially altered or stripped of its originality. And in the world of high-level collectors, originality is everything. Now take a closer look at the design. On the front, Lady Liberty stands strong once again, her winged cap symbolizing freedom of thought. Even in very fine to very good condition, the outline of her profile remains visible. Her expression still carries a quiet strength, a reminder of the era this coin came from. There is something emotional about it, because you're not just looking at a design, you're looking at a piece of time that has survived over 100 years. Flip the coin, and the reverse reveals the fasces, representing unity and strength, bound tightly together alongside the olive branch, symbolizing peace. The message is powerful, balanced, and deeply rooted in American identity. Now let's talk about its physical presence. This coin is composed of 90% silver and 10% copper, giving it durability while preserving that unmistakable silver glow beneath its aged surface. It weighs 2.5 grams, with a diameter of 17.9 millimeters and a thickness of approximately 1.35 millimeters. Small, incredibly small, and yet carrying something that feels larger than life. Because coins like this are not judged by size, they are judged by survival, originality, and character. And this one has all three. Now here's where things become intense. The 1923 Mercury dime is already not easy to find in higher conditions. Many were heavily circulated, worn down to the point where details disappeared completely. Others were cleaned improperly, losing their natural surfaces, which dramatically reduces their value. But this coin, with visible details still present, combined with natural brown spotting, untouched and authentic, falls into a category that collectors actively hunt, because it represents something rare, a coin that has aged honestly, a coin that tells the truth. And collectors, especially in today's market, are no longer chasing perfection alone. They are chasing authenticity, uniqueness, and irreplaceable character. That's why coins like this are quietly rising in demand. And here's the part that should make you stop and think. Coins exactly like this have been thrown into change jars, spent at stores, dropped on streets, or left forgotten in old boxes. People have literally lost treasures like this. without ever knowing. Now, after everything you've seen, the design, the history, the composition, the rarity, the unique brown toning, it's time to reveal what this coin has become in today's market. This 1923 Mercury dime, no mint mark, brown spots, very fine to very good condition, has reached a market value of $294,000. Yes, this is the current price, and it is absolutely real. This is not just a number. This is proof that hidden wealth exists, quietly, patiently, waiting for the right person to recognize it. And understand this clearly. The value of coins like this is not standing still. It is increasing day by day. As more collectors enter the market, and as fewer original coins remain, the pressure builds, and the value rises. Time is not your enemy here. Time is the force that turns something small into something extraordinary. So if you have old coins, if you've ever inherited a collection, or even if you just come across a Mercury dime, do not ignore it. Examine it carefully. Look for toning, spots, details, originality. Because what you think is ordinary could be a hidden treasure beyond imagination. Serious collectors understand this. They move carefully, they learn continuously, and they never underestimate what they hold in their hands. And that's exactly why they succeed. In conclusion, this 1923 Mercury dime is not just another coin. It is a silent giant in the world of rare collectibles, carrying over a century of untouched history, transformed into a powerful symbol of hidden wealth. A small piece of silver with the weight of a treasure. And remember, on US MintX, we bring you freshly updated discoveries every single day, uncovering the rarest coins, revealing their true value, and helping you see what others miss. Because sometimes, the greatest fortune you'll ever find is already in your pocket.